Small aquariums are often seen as a compromise. Less space, fewer options, less impact. But that idea falls apart the moment you choose the right fish. Because a small tank doesn't need to feel empty, and it definitely doesn't need to feel boring. Today I'm showing you 7 stunning schooling fish that don't just survive in small aquariums. They thrive in them. These fish bring movement, color, and real group behavior, even in tanks of 20 gallons or less. And this isn't theory. I've kept these fish myself, watched them grow, and seen what actually works long-term. If you enjoy real-world fish keeping like this, make sure you subscribe now, so you don't miss what comes next. Now, let's start with a fish that instantly proves you clicked on the right video. If there's one schooling fish that instantly confirms you made the right choice, it's the cardinal tetra. That electric blue stripe running across the body, paired with deep red that stretches almost from nose to tail, creates one of the most iconic looks in freshwater aquariums. Many people think cardinals are delicate, but that reputation usually comes from poor conditions, not the fish themselves. When kept in stable water and proper groups, they become calm, resilient, and beautifully synchronized. What often surprises people is their true adult size. They grow larger than the tiny ones you see at the store, yet they remain perfectly suited for small aquariums when the setup is balanced. They don't just add color to a tank, they add rhythm. And once you see a healthy group moving together, it changes how you think about small aquariums. But not every schooling fish moves with this kind of elegance. The celestial pearl danio proves that small fish can still steal the spotlight. At barely 1 inch long, these fish look like tiny galaxies swimming through your tank. Bluish-gray bodies covered in shimmering pearl-like spots, with bright orange accents that flash as they turn. Many people expect them to be shy, but that changes completely when they feel secure. In a well-planted aquarium with structure and hiding spots, they become active, curious, and constantly in motion. They don't swim in straight lines like most tetras. They dart forward, pause, disappear behind plants, then suddenly reappear somewhere else. That unpredictable movement keeps your eyes locked on the tank. You don't just notice them, you end up watching them longer than you planned. And that raises an interesting contrast with the next fish on the list. The ember tetra might look subtle at first, but spend a little time with them, and everything changes. That soft orange glow becomes deeper and richer as they settle in. Almost like warm embers floating through the water, they don't rush across the tank. They drift, hover, and move as a calm group. And that's exactly what makes them special. In small aquariums, they create balance. They're peaceful, beginner-friendly, and incredibly adaptable when kept in proper numbers. They don't just exist in the tank, they shape the atmosphere of it. Now I'm curious, out of the fish you've seen so far, which one would you actually choose for your own aquarium? And what made it stand out to you? Let me know in the comments, because the next fish on this list brings a completely different kind of energy. At first glance, many people confuse green neon tetras with cardinals, but they're not the same fish at all. Green neons stay smaller, move faster, and bring a sharper, more compact energy to small aquariums. That glowing green stripe looks almost electric, especially in darker setups or heavily planted tanks. Because of their size, they make incredible use of space. They school tightly, turn together, and create that classic schooling effect people imagine when they picture a lively aquarium. While like most about green neons is efficiency, you get movement, contrast, and constant motion without overwhelming the tank. They prove that you don't need large fish to create big impact. And just when you think you've seen all the color small fish can offer, the next species quietly raises the bar. The Phoenix raspora is one of those fish that feels like a quiet discovery. Small, elegant, and intensely red. It doesn't demand attention. It earns it. Their coloration deepens as they settle in, especially in planted aquariums with softer lighting. They don't form tight schools like some tetras. Instead, they move in loose groups, making short bursts of movement, then calmly hovering in place. That behavior gives them a very refined presence. They're perfect for aquarists who enjoy observing details, not just fast movement. And this is exactly the type of fish that benefits from the right setup: plants, lighting, filtration. If you're ever curious about the equipment I use for tanks like this, I've left a referral link in the description to gear I personally trust and recommend. Because when the setup supports the fish properly, their full beauty finally shows. And now, let's change perspective completely with the next species. Not every schooling fish lives in the middle of the tank. Pygmy corridoras completely change the dynamic of a small aquarium. Most people expect bottom dwellers to stay hidden, but these do the opposite. They move together, searching the substrate as a group, then suddenly swimming up into the water column before settling back down. That mix of bottom activity and mid-water movement adds depth. It makes the aquarium feel fuller without feeling crowded. They are peaceful, social, and surprisingly expressive. Watching a group of pygmy corridoras interact feels different, more playful, almost curious. They don't just clean the tank, they become part of the story happening inside it. And after seeing fish that swim high and fish that swim low, the final species brings everything together in the smallest package of all. The Chili raspora proves something many aquarists learn too late. Size doesn't determine presence. These fish are tiny, often overlooked, sometimes even underestimated. But when they're kept correctly, in proper groups, their confidence is impossible to ignore. Bright red bodies, sharp black markings, and behavior that feels far bigger than their size. They weave through plants, hover openly, and show no fear when they feel secure. In a small aquarium, they don't disappear into the background. They become the detail that completes the picture. And that's what makes them so powerful. Because after seeing all 7 fish on this list, one truth becomes clear. Small aquariums aren't limited by size. They're limited by choices. And that brings us to the final thought. After seeing all 7 of these fish together, one thing becomes impossible to ignore. A small aquarium doesn't need to feel small. When the fish are chosen carefully, when their behavior matches the space, and when balance comes first, the tank tells a completely different story. And not about filling space. It's about creating movement, contrast, and harmony. And if you want to keep learning how to build aquariums that truly thrive, not just look good for a moment, click the video you see on screen right now. That's where we keep going deeper. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss what's coming next. Because sometimes, the most impressive aquariums aren't the biggest ones. They're the smartest ones,